Welcome back to the Vintage Model Railway, and it's all changed here. This is my Liftoff bridge section, and there'll be a little extra bit of video at the end to show how that all works. It just lifts out in deference to my visitors who had to stay out in the 21st century, weren't able to enter into the realms of the 1940s and 50s. However, you are able to, so if you join me in a moment, we'll just duck under. I'm not going to lift it off for the moment, but you'll see that in a future video. Well, here is that video. I decided to pop it here so that you get an idea of what I've been doing to make this work. Now, what I've got is this plug-in unit, and that's soldered to the tin plate track, which is very useful. It's tin plate that solders easily once you clean off a little bit of paint. And the section itself lifts off. It's quite difficult with one hand. It just lifts off. It's on brass pins to locate it, which I'll show you. And the ends are supported quite strongly, so there's no problems there with it. But it does give you easy access. That's the brass pins there, and I have bent over the tabs on the centre rail, which is what carries the centre rail current all the way through. The outer rails, I have to solder that connection, which you can see there. It will be tidied up a little bit after that, but the little plug and socket units are readily available from, I can't remember where I got them now. I've been using them for other various lift-off and hinge sections, which were never successful. Hopefully this is going to be a lot better. But what it does mean is that my visitors can now come in. You can see what I've done there with the tabs on that side, and as you pop it over, those make connection quite well. And so I thought I'd have to do a bit of soldering, but no, don't have to. It just presses together just like the track does when you couple the track up. So well done, Hornby 00. Who'd have thought that people would want to do this? Anyway, it works very well, as you will see in the following videos, which follow shortly after this. So yes, here we are. There's the gap. And long as we don't get too fat over Christmas, we can still get in and out. Oh, welcome! You've passed through the time portal, and we're now in the 1930s. And here we have Sir Nigel Gresley. Now this is LNER blue, and we have teak coaches. Now this is a Wren locomotive. And the locomotive itself is very nicely made. A little bit disappointed, I have to say, with the tender. It's plastic, and stamped inside is the logo Trying Hornby, because Wren were part of Trying Hornby when this was made. But it looks the part, so we'll stick with it. I have changed the coupling. It came with a Hornby 00 coupling I've been fiddle about with, and it wasn't very well done, so I've changed it over. That's my rake of teak coaches, mixture of Trying Hornby and Hornby, essentially the same, slightly different in the roof of the carriages, but I was rather pleased because when I'd seen them in the past in various model shops, used models, they always looked very pale. Now, they'd obviously been left out in the sun, because these are actually quite a nice colour, and I certainly won't be changing them. I have seen on various YouTube channels where you can use sepia type washes, but no, I'm quite happy with these. So I'll continue with them just as they are. So let's see them in action then. Because these have metal wheels, these teak coaches, they make a lovely noise. So what do we actually have then? Well, here's Sir Nigel Gresley, and moving back, our first teak coach, and then we have rather a nice thing. That's the sleeping car, which I was surprised that they actually made one of those, but that's a nice addition, I think. And then we're on to the composites, and finally the brake van. Right, well, just a little chat about Wren locomotives. But I always thought to myself that perhaps they were going to be better than the Hornby 00, but actually I don't think they're any better. Obviously it was newer. The armature looked new. The tender was a disappointment, I have to say. And I did look at an alternative, but then I thought, no, it's fine. It's the right colour. It looks fine. It may be a tad dark, but anyway, the coupling that was on there was this Hornby 00 had been fitted in place of the trying tension lock type one, and not very well done. So I removed that, and I fitted an NEM socket to a Hornby 00 type cut. Well, it's actually the Hornby 00 coupling, but I cut a part of it off so that I can attach the NEM socket. The teak coaches I've actually taken off the tension lock type Hornby trying Hornby ones, because they're rather clumsy looking, and fitted NEM sockets, which involves super glue and a lot of cutting. And but anyway, it works well with the type of coupling that I like to use, which is the KD American knuckle type coupling, and that's a little close up of it there. Well, we'll just follow Sir Nigel Gresley at slower speed and watch the valve gear and the wheels go around. And I think it's a very fine locomotive, very fine looking locomotive, and I'm very pleased with it, especially with the teak coaches. I think it does look the part. and certainly the conversion to 3-rail works perfectly well. Right, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon, I hope.